How to install a CCTV camera system. Installing your CCTV camera system, a step-by-step guide. Setting up a CCTV surveillance system involves careful planning and execution to ensure optimal coverage and reliable operation. Here is a detailed guide based on the steps you have outlined. Phase 1. Survey and plan, laying the foundation for success. Before you even pick up a drill, the survey and planning phase is crucial. This involves a thorough assessment of the area you wish to monitor. Walk through the space, both indoors and outdoors, and identify key installation locations for your cameras. Consider the fields of view required. What specific areas do you need to see? Think about potential blind spots and how multiple cameras might overlap to provide comprehensive coverage. During this survey, also identify potential challenges. Are there thick walls that might impede cable runs? Will outdoor cameras be exposed to harsh weather conditions? Are there obstacles like trees or furniture that could obstruct the camera's view? Anticipating these challenges early will allow you to plan accordingly. Crucially, this phase involves planning cable routes. Visualize how the cables will run from each camera location back to your digital video recorder, DVR, or network video recorder, NVR. Aim for the most direct and inconspicuous routes possible. Consider running cables through ceilings, walls, or using cable conduits to ensure a clean and secure installation, protecting the cables from damage and tampering. Document your plan, perhaps with a simple sketch of the area and the intended camera and cable placements. Phase 2. Laying the lifelines, running the cables. Once your plan is solid, the next step is to lay the cables. This typically involves running either coaxial cables, for analog systems, or Ethernet cables, Cat5e Cat6 for IP systems, from each planned camera location to the central DVR/NVR unit. Carefully follow the planned routes, using appropriate tools to fish cables through walls or ceilings if necessary. Secure the cables along their paths using cable clips, ties, or conduits. Avoid sharp bends or stretching the cables excessively, as this can damage them and affect signal quality. Leave a little slack at both the camera and DVR/NVR ends to allow for easier connections and adjustments later. Label both ends of each cable clearly to avoid confusion during the connection phase. For outdoor installations, ensure you are using outdoor rated cables that are resistant to UV radiation and moisture. Phase 3. Securing the eyes, mounting the cameras. With the cables in place, you can now mount the cameras in their predetermined locations. Each camera will likely come with its own mounting bracket. Use the provided screws to securely attach the bracket to the chosen surface. Ensure the mounting is stable and can support the weight of the camera, especially in windy outdoor environments. For outdoor cameras, it's highly recommended to use waterproof junction boxes. These enclosures protect the camera's cable connections from rain, snow, and dust, significantly extending the lifespan of your system and preventing signal issues caused by moisture ingress. Position the cameras according to your initial plan, ensuring the lens has a clear and unobstructed view of the target area. You may need to make minor adjustments to the camera's angle and direction during the testing phase. Phase 4. Connecting the brain, linking cameras to the DVR/NVR. Now it's time to connect the camera cables to the corresponding ports on the DVR or NVR. For analog systems, this will involve connecting the BNC connectors of the coaxial cables to the video input ports on the DVR. For IP systems, the Ethernet cables will connect to the PO, Power over Ethernet, ports on the NVR or to a separate PO switch that is then connected to the NVR. Ensure the connections are snug and secure. Phase 5. Powering up, supplying the energy. Next, you need to connect the power source to both the DVR NVR and the cameras. The DVR NVR will typically have its own power adapter that plugs into a standard wall outlet. For the cameras, power can be supplied in a few ways. Analog cameras often require separate power cables run alongside the video cables, connected to a power adapter or a multi-camera power supply. IP cameras utilizing PO receive power directly through the Ethernet cable from the NVR or a PO switch, simplifying the wiring. Ensure all power connections are secure and that the voltage matches the requirements of your equipment. Phase 6. Bringing it to life, testing and system setup. The final stage is to test the cameras to ensure proper functionality. Power on the DVR NVR and the cameras. You should see live video feeds from each camera displayed on the connected monitor. Check the image quality, field of view, and ensure all cameras are working correctly. Make any necessary adjustments to the camera angles or focus. Once the cameras are functioning, you can set up video surveillance and configure the system as needed. This involves tasks such as setting recording schedules, continuous, motion triggered, etc., configuring motion detection zones, setting up user accounts and passwords for security, and potentially configuring remote access to view your cameras from a smartphone or computer. Consult the user manuals for your DVR, NVR, and cameras for detailed instructions on these configuration settings. By following these detailed steps, you can successfully install your CCTV camera system and establish a robust video surveillance solution for your property. Remember to take your time, be meticulous with cable management, and always prioritize safety when working with electrical equipment.